Good morning, Periscope, and welcome to the replay. Don't forget that you can tap the screen, even in the replay, to give me hearts. So I'm so happy that you joined me this morning. Good morning, Devin. Good morning, Angie. If I don't know you, go ahead and let me know your name and where you are scoping from so that I can tell you hi this morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We've made it to the hump and we will successfully get over the hump. Hey, Reverend Bullock. Hello, Jania. Hello, Nikki. Thank you guys so much for joining. Before we hop in today, go ahead and swipe to the right to invite your followers to the broadcast. If you have iOS and if you have Android by chance, swipe up to invite your followers to the broadcast. Good morning, Reverend Bullock from Atlanta, Georgia. So who else is on? Who else is on? Good morning, everyone. Yes, all is well. Thanks for asking. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So happy to see you on. This morning's topic is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So make sure that you have invited your followers. So if it's your first time watching the replay or watching the Periscope Live, I'm Clarissa. Clarissa Joy. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is what I do every single morning on Periscope at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. I do dope scopes, but they're also quick scopes. So if you're not following me yet, make sure you tap at the bottom right of your screen, tap on the plus sign so that you get instant notifications as soon as I go live. Yes. So thanks so much for hopping in. I also am a motivational speaker and an author. So I'm so happy that you've joined me this morning. Hey, Ladora. We know that Periscopes only last for 24 hours. So you can see some of my previous Periscopes on my website. Hello from Memphis. My web address is chickchatcc.com. Again, that's chickchatcc.com. So some of you guys may be parents. Some of you guys may be parents in the future. I don't know your status, but this morning's scope, the question that I asked you is, what if success cost you what? Being there for your kids. Yes. Thanks, Nikki, for putting the website up so you guys can screenshot that if you don't have time to write it down. So thanks so much for everybody joining. Hey, Angie. So what we're talking about this morning is, what if success cost you your time with your kids or being there with your kids? And hey, Adrian, and the reason that I'm talking about this morning specifically is because my daughter is sick. Yeah, she woke up sick this morning, kind of started yesterday. She was sick a week and a half ago or so. So I decided to stay home with her today. And I thought, wow, instead of talking about what I had planned, I thought, what if I talk about this today? So that's the topic for today. What if success cost you being there for your kids? What if it cost you that? What if that's the price for you to have success? So you guys know I love watching motivational speakers as well as successful speakers kind of give their life story or give a tidbit to followers and fans like myself about their story. And one thing that I found uncommon in a lot of those successful people's stories is they sometimes say that they regret not being there for specific times in their kids' lives. Yeah. So this morning I had to do 3 steps, right? I always have 3 steps for you. I had to consciously think about 3 steps before I made the decision to stay home. So I'm going to share those 3 steps with you this morning. Go ahead and type a number 1 in your comment box right down there to show me that you're ready for step number 1. Hey, Tara, thanks so much for joining. Hope everyone's having a great day. Hey, Isaac, thanks so much for joining. You guys are great. So you guys have the bare basic Clarissa this morning. Yep. Nothing fancy. So number one, guys, looks like you're ready. Number 1 is, I want you to understand the complexity. So you're thinking, hey, Jasmine. Oh, thank you, Isaac. That's so sweet. When your kids don't feel good, it kind of makes you feel not so good, right? Yeah, that's kind of the mood I'm in. I'm like, they can see me like this morning. They're my friends. Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. I also forgot to mention, if you're new to Periscope, you give hearts by simply tapping on the screen. And I don't ask for hearts for free, but I ask for hearts if I say anything at all that educates you, empowers you, or causes your thinking and actions to evolve. Yes, that's when I ask for hearts. So number 1 is complexity, right? So in thinking about complexity, I want you to think about what the choice or what the decision is that you're having to make. So if you're having to miss work, or if you're having to miss a meeting, or if you're having to miss a meeting with the client, I don't know what you guys do every single day, but when that situation arises, number one, understand the complexity. So ask yourself, if I don't attend this meeting or meet this client or go into the office or go to wherever you go every day, if I don't do this, what is the effect of that happening? Hey, Daryl. Hey, Katrina. Thank you guys for joining. So so number one, hey, Pierre, number one, understand the complexity. So if you choose to be there with your kid or kids, my father doesn't like that word, with your children, what will that cost, or what does that mean to your personal, professional, your business life? What does that cost? Okay, so this morning in my example where my daughter is not feeling well, I'm taking her to the doctor in about an hour. I had to say, well, with me not going into the office, there were, I had probably 5 meetings, but 3 of them were pretty, hey, thank you for the heart attack time. 3 of the meetings were pretty important, right? So I had a decision to make. Is it okay to miss those meetings? Can they be rescheduled? Whatever the case may be. So number one, I want you to understand the complexity of the decision that you're having to make. If I was traveling today, let me give you a different scenario. If I were traveling today and this was something that was booked for months at a time and that's a different complexity than me going into the office. Okay. If I had to meet with with the vendor today to solidify something that we have been working on for the last month, that may be a different complexity than my current situation, right? So think about the complexity of the situation, of the scenario that you're having to decide, okay? So number 2, type a number 2 in your comment box to show me that you're ready for number 2. If you guys are just joining, the question for this morning is, what if success equals not being there for your kids? What if? Okay, looks like you guys are ready for number 2. Okay, number two is to rationalize. I want you to rationalize the pros and cons to your decision. In rationalizing, one thing that I also think that is important is you creating the environment that you want for your own standard. So for your own standard, if you want to be known as the person that will get it done no matter what, kids, snow, rain, sleet, ice, family, doesn't matter, I know I can count on Johnny Appleseed to get it done, then that's you. That's the standard that you want to have for yourself. What is Clarissa's standard? I'm all that, except when it comes to a dire need for my family, for my child that I need to take care of. Now, what's also known by Clarissa's standard is if I need to reschedule, you're guaranteed that within 24 hours, you'll have a new date. Within 24 hours, you'll have complete understanding of whenever it's going to be rescheduled. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. So it's not a free pass for us guys to say, because my kid was sick, I'm not going to deliver what I told you I was going to deliver. Thanks for sharing, right? It's not a free pass for that. So don't use the dog ate my homework excuse. Hey, AJ, we can't use the dog ate my homework, so that's why. So even though I've chosen not to go into the office to take care of my child this morning and to take her to the doctor, I still, guess what? I woke up this morning at about 3:30. So I've already responded to all of the emails that I needed to respond to from yesterday. I've responded to some that came in earlier this morning that I needed to respond to. I've already started working on some documentation that I needed to finish up from a couple of meetings yesterday. Yes, so I've already been productive even though I'm not going into the office. So guys, I don't want you to use kids as a crutch or as an excuse. I still want you to handle your business, kick butt, like I always say. But in the meantime, make your choice. Rationalize. Tell Kaylee I said get well soon. I'll tell her, Jasmine. Thank you. Thank you for that. Love the heart attack action from these great points. Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate that. So point number three, Type a number 3 in your comment box below to let me know that you're ready for point number 3. Yes. So if you guys are just joining, this morning's question is, what if success cost you being there for your kids? That's the question. And it's not just a question for women, but men may face these scenarios as well. So it's something that's near dear to my heart. So number 3, looks like we're ready. Number 3 is frequency. Okay, so in dealing with frequency, I had to ask myself, now, if this scenario came up once a week for 4 consecutive weeks, I probably wouldn't have, right? Because you don't want to set or send a signal that you're setting a trend, or that that there's something there that's a pattern, right? So people look at our behaviors and develop patterns, not just in what we say, but they look at what we do. So if my kid had gotten sick 4 consecutive rows, and it was something not major, something minor like a cold or allergy or something like that, yeah, on that 3rd week, I wouldn't be staying home. On that 4th week, I wouldn't be staying home. But what I would do, we talked about this before, right? Yes, overtime is addictive for me. What we have to do, right, is ask ourselves, do we have the support set up? So go to my website to watch that Periscope. We've talked about the support system. We've talked about who your inner circle comprises, who your community is. So yes, do I have someone that I could have called about this morning? Absolutely. But since I haven't, missed work or missed being in the office or missed time like that in a while, I thought this is something that I can take care of myself personally for my child, so that she knows that I'm there for her. Okay, so this morning's question is, what if success costs you being there for your kid? It's a very, very real and relevant question that sometimes in the midst of us, being on the chase of life, right? The rat race of life, trying to exceed and excel and progress in our professions and in our personal lives, sometimes we overlook this question, but we absolutely need to deal with each scenario as it arises. So the three steps I want you to remember, I want to challenge you today, right? This is our daily challenge. Think back over the scenarios that may have come up in your life. And maybe it's not kids, right? He said, say this, sis. Maybe it's not kids. Maybe you take care of adult parents. Maybe you take care of an aunt or an uncle. So, family is family, guys. So I don't want to just limit this to people that may have children. So ask yourself that question. When it comes to family, those near and dear to your heart, how will you decide? Okay, how will you decide what choices you need to make when it comes to your day? So number 1, I'll give them to you real quickly. Today's challenge, yes, today's challenge. Number 1 is to evaluate the complexity. Is your kid coughing, or is your kid having a seizure? God forbid, hope that they're not having a seizure. But what's the complexity of the scenario? Number 2 is to rationalize. Weigh the pros and cons of you staying home from the office, or not meeting with that client, or not meeting with that vendor, or whatever it is that's on your calendar to do for that day. Rationalize the pros and cons of your decision to stay or to go. And number three is frequency. Is there a pattern in your behavior? How often does this happen? So I want to put a disclaimer out there. So this isn't for people that may have a special needs child or a child with a certain condition. So your frequency may be more often, and that's absolutely okay. But, for those that don't have that certain scenario to deal with, then your frequency for a cold, like having your kid having a cold every week for 4 weeks, nah. And again, that's Clarissa's standard. So I can't impose my standard on you. So I want you to think today. That's the challenge today. Think about, what is the standard that you want to set for yourself? What person do you want to be known as in your professional role? Do you want to be the person that no matter what, come hell or high water, kid having a seizure, or kid having a cold, she or he is going to be here, butt in the chair, no matter what? Or are you like me and you're like, I'm going to be committed, but only when I can be, only when the frequency is low, or only when I can't get someone else or whatever. Well, I've got an awesome circle, so that's not a usual issue for me. So ask yourself, he said yes. So ask yourself, who do you want to be known as? And you know what? I think it was Susan Taylor. I mentioned her name here before, of Essence. She wanted to be the one that no matter what, she was known as the go-getter. So she sacrificed some of those occurrences in not being there for her daughter. Yeah, so she said later on that she regretted some of it, but all of us are different. So we all don't have to have the same standard, and that's absolutely okay. But more importantly, I want you to know what your standard is. I want you to know where you draw the line. Where you draw the line is different from where Clarissa draws the line, and that's absolutely okay. But just know, so today's challenge, think about where you draw the line. What is your complexity? How do you rationalize your situation? And then thirdly, what's the frequency? Do you have a pattern that people have kind of seen that's the norm for he or she? Okay, so that's our challenge today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, check out my website to watch the previous Periscopes. The web address is chickchatcc.com. Follow me on social media so that you can get tidbits of my life, as well as the notifications of what our blog topics are going to be about each day. So you can view me there at Instagram, as well as Twitter, as well as my Facebook fan page. And my handle is Clarissa Joy, J-O-I. Thank you, Mario. So sweet. I appreciate that. So that's how you guys find me. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I'll be back on this afternoon. Fingers crossed, everything goes well. I'll be back on this afternoon to see how you accepted the challenge, and to see, kind of what you thought about today after listening to those 3 steps. So I'll talk to you soon. It's been great sharing with you. Have an awesome day. I wish positivity over your day, prosperity over your day, and most of all, productivity over your day, no matter where you are, even if you're at Starbucks working, or if you're at home, or if you're in the office, wherever you are, productivity. Okay? Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.